Hello everybody, today I'm going to be reviewing Every Exquisite Thing by Laura Stephen. This was October's pick for Amy McCaws YA Book Club 2023, and oh, what a fantastic novel this was. This was just everything, absolutely everything. It says here, the little tagline, a seductive and searing exploration of beauty, identity, and what the pursuit of perfection can truly cost. Would you sell your soul for beauty, youth, and fame, for a chance to make your hard-to-please mother finally see you and say she's proud of you? Would you care for the cost of such a deal, for the consequences, or would you take the opportunity by any means, yelling a reckless damn to the risks? This is exactly what Penny Paxton, our main character, does in this richly gothic YA retelling of the picture of Dorian Gray, set against the backdrop of an elite drama school. Do you like my little intro? Poured out of me when I was reading this, and I just needed to get it down on paper, so hope you enjoyed that kind of dramatic starter, I suppose. This is a retelling, or inspired by the picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. We're following Penny Paxton as she joins the elite drama school called Dorian Drama School, and she is going through a lot in her life. She's constantly under scrutiny, being the daughter of a world famous actress, and kind of the pressures of society and fame are really apparent in her, and it has been in her upbringing. The details of this story honoured the original classic so beautifully, definitely paying homage to the themes of beauty and esteem, classism and power, whilst entirely dripping its own unique seduction of temptation and desire to excel in this highly acclaimed acting school that all the greats studied at before her, including Penny's mother. Penny, as I mentioned, is reluctantly pushed into this world through her high-profiled mother, but beneath the attraction of riches and fame, she very quickly learns, although it's something that's been bubbling away at her for her whole life pretty much, but it kind of is made more apparent at the school, that something darker and rotten lingers beneath it all, particularly beneath the halls of the Dorian Drama School. I love this book so much so that I actually took ages to read this. I was trying to savour every moment with this. I missed the live stream book discussion, but luckily those are all like recorded and saved, so I can go back and watch that. And it took me so long to read through it. Even, you know, upon the night where I could have finished it, I had maybe like 3 to 5 pages left, and I saved it for the next day. I just didn't want it to end. I wanted to be with this book forever, which is so dramatic to say, but I don't know, it was just so moving. It was so incredibly moving. The storytelling was rich, it was alluring, the characters were intriguing and multifaceted. They never felt flat, two-dimensional. There was so much more to them, and the pressures of the school was just all too real, as well as mirroring the pressures of society and fame and popularity and, you know, high acclaim. It was just almost like a highly amplified mirror of what these young people would go through upon finishing their education at this school and going into the world of media, basically. It was just an interesting comparison, you know, but on a smaller scale, even though it was still blown to proportions, because stuff got scary, stuff got eerie and atmospheric and creepy, and it was flawlessly done. Randomly, there were some very nuanced parts that reminded me of Coraline. I absolutely love the story of Coraline by Neil Gaiman, and there was definitely some similarities bubbling away, I would say, in like the latter half of the book. Those chapters to me were particularly fascinating because that's when the uniqueness of this inspiration of the classic really comes into itself, detached itself from you know, the original theme, and kind of explored more in terms of the magic behind these portraits and the paintings and how that could possibly work, which when I read the classic, that was always something that was kind of eating away at me, that I just had to know. So I really loved that we got more of a explanation into that sort of, I want to say paranormal, but it's, I don't know, this, it's so much more than that. The fleshing out of the history of the school connected to the portraits was such a rich display of creativity and storytelling, which leads me to just want to consume everything that this author writes. I know she did the Society for Soulless Girls, and I do definitely want to go back and check that out now, and I'll definitely be keeping an eye out for other novels that Laura Stephen brings forth. The conversations on identity, sexuality, disordered eating, depression, addiction, you know, just to name but a few, were handled so realistically, so raw. The themes were never tiptoed around, but the way they were woven into these characters' lives was just so well done that it felt genuine, that it felt believable and real, you know. Without a shadow of a doubt, this, I believe, wholeheartedly deserves all the stars. So, you know, no surprise really that this one was a 5 out of 5 star read for me. I'm so glad that this was the pick for October. I absolutely adored it. I've got many quotes here that I have just tabbed up. These are tabs about, you know, similarities between this and The Picture of Dorian Gray, things where the writing was just so exquisitely beautiful or very thought-provoking, or things that I thought, oh okay, this might crop up later on, kind of like little hints here and there. So I will read one of the earlier quotes for you, just so you can get a taste of what the writing's like. Oh, like the similes were just so beautiful in this. She had the air of a forest witch luring me to her lair. I just love the writing. It's so rich and atmospheric. To gather the pearls of information before I could string them into a necklace. I'd never been taught how to regulate my emotions, and so they often ran away from me, gathering speed as they hurtled downhill. Just, beautiful. This book was truly every exquisite thing. I loved it. Anyway, you guys should let me know if you have read this yourself. Perhaps you joined in with Amy McCaws book club. If you're a member too, let me know. And yes, thank you so much for watching today's video, and I shall catch you in another one soon. Bye.